Hey everybody, did you know you can go to colinmullen.com in order to get art and art prints? That's why I set up the website, colinmullen.com. So hey everybody, another gouache painting for you. The camera seems a little far back, it's just kind of where it's set up. Let me know if this works or does not work. I like this angle more just because it's over my right shoulder rather than my left. End up covering up the canvas a little bit less, I think. It's kind of going to be covered no matter which way we do it, I think, but the general idea is just to make it so that way that's not an issue. Anyway, decided to paint a cardinal because with all the snow here in Maine, it's just pure white outside as far as, relative speaking, and that's very new for me. And, you see cardinals down south in Texas, but you don't usually see them so starkly against, pure white. So just like a pure red cardinal on pure white background is super cool, and I wanted to try to emulate that, and it went okay. Anatomically, it is like 90% right, and color-wise, I would say it's also about 90% right. I wish I could get that red just a little bit brighter. It really needs to be just like the purest of pure reds, but I, for some reason, just cannot get that going. So, 90%, it's pretty all right. It's a good deal. Yeah. Anyway, I think it turned out as a good painting regardless of that. But let's talk about today's thing rather than me rambling. So I've been reading this book. It's called The Artist's Way. My therapist recommended it as like a thing to do. It's got some good stuff in it. We're on like the first chapter. I will say I disagree with the book in a lot of aspects, just as a aside, so likely I'm going to be probably referencing it to some degree for the next few weeks, just because it's getting me to think about art in a different way. Even if I disagree, at least I'm talking about or thinking about art, and not just thinking about it in the way I normally do. She has a section about, so chapter 1 has a section about, or week 1, whatever. It's like a workbook sort of thing. You do stuff, and then I don't know if I recommend it yet. The recommendations of doing like a 3-page journal exercise every morning, and then once a week go hang out with yourself outside of your normal thing, both sound good but are also time constrained things. So far I've kept to it. It seems nice. And writing stuff down in the morning has been helpful. Just trying to get my head straight first thing in the morning. So do recommend that. Anyway, the first section is about, ignoring your own self-critic and then critics of your past. And, I generally do not have a problem with that aspect as far as other people criticizing me. They're going to do that regardless. But I think it's important for people to know all the same. A lot of people are, they want to do art, but they feel like they're too incompetent in one way or another. And I don't think that that's the right aspect to be looking at it. I think that you need to be pushing for that if that's something that you need in your life. I think I've said this 1,000 times, but just it coming up again is, poignant. I find that a lot of people who say stuff like you can't make it as an artist or what have you are kind of stuck in the idea that they only should make money, and that's the only function of their existence, is to be a vessel that makes money and then relaxes for as little as possible to go back to work to do more money making. And if that's the loop of life that you want, I just would hate to be you. Honestly, that sounds like a horrible existence. I don't relate to that at all. I relate to the, rise and grind mindset of, getting into it every single day, but come on now. I find that a lot of the people who say that, you shouldn't do that, you can't do that, are probably also people who wouldn't have the wherewithal or their own drive to actually do so themselves. So yeah, of course they're going to be don't do that, right? Because they themselves didn't do that, and yet they seem to be incredibly miserable people grinding away at whatever they're doing. And not everyone needs to be an artist, and not everyone needs to be a full-time artist. But in the very least, being able to express yourself is important. Art is communication, and I'm bad with words. So I find that I often don't say things correctly or can't communicate them correctly. That's just being human. We have limitations with the English language and every language, realistically speaking. As a result, I do art as a way to try and communicate those concepts or the things that I'm thinking about as more concepts rather than, words, because again, I'm not good with words, so why should I use them to try and relate and try and get stuff off my chest? I will tell you that if you're worried about people not understanding what your art is about, what you're trying to achieve, don't worry, they won't. That shouldn't be something they should worry about, because in the rare occasion that someone does actually vibe with what you're saying, it feels real good, man. So, don't worry about it if no one's vibing with your stuff. I've had some people do commentary or critiques on my art that is the dumbest possible thing that could be said. That is not an indication of skill, as far as I'm aware. And if you think that what you have to say with your art is not important, might I remind you that there are 1,000 podcasts out there done by dude bros that have nothing to say either, and yet they still produce content. So please give yourself the permission to speak your mind with the same gusto as some random dude bro stating his opinions on a podcast that no one listens to. Because despite the fact that he may not have anything interesting or new to say, he at least has the gumption to go through and do it. You should embody that same gumption. There are plenty of artists that I appreciate that the actual quality of the music that they're playing is not incredibly good. I would probably aim at like Pat the Bunny and to some degree Days and Days, but the rawness of what they're saying and the way that it is presented does vibe with me. So if you're looking to wait until you're perfect at whatever your art form is, don't worry about it. That comes through with just doing stuff. And if you're worried that that's going to be something that stops you from being able to do what you need to do, don't. Because just go listen to Pat the Bunny or Days and Days. I know it's not everyone's thing, but it's mine. And you will probably get an idea of what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that if you feel like you should be doing art, and that is something that is important to you, you should not let yourself and society hold you back. There's enough crap in this world that will hold you back, so why are you doing it yourself? Anyway, I hope this was helpful. Maybe I've said something useful today. I don't know. I'm not good with words, as I just mentioned. But anyway, let me thank the people on patreon.com/RevScarecrow that make these videos possible. Without your support, it would be hard to justify it to myself and also just have the money to do the art that I want to do. So thank you so much. But an extra special thank you to the people at the $5 tier or more. Y'all are great. Starting with my mom and dad. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you, Wapfu. Thank you, Toe Foundor. Thank you, Split. Thank you, Sophia Nope. Thank you, Skelligorgi. Thank you, Reverend Joe. Thank you, Pig Wrestler. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Mortis. Thank you, Michael Carr. Thank you, Micah. Thank you, Mario Pereira. Thank you, Kayla Hollinger. Thank you, Katie Vallon. Thank you, Josepher. Thank you, Gabriel Bennett. Thank you, Freak Wannabe. Thank you, Egg. Thank you, Count Cannoli. Thank you, Chiptune Glitch. Thank you, Bep. Thank you, Amber. Thank you, Aggie Wag. And thank you, Ats! It's like later in the day. I'm kind of behind on schedule. I need to make sure I get this uploaded in time. Anyway, I'm going to go stream now, and I hope that you guys have a good rest of your day. If you are having a good one, good. Keep it up. And I'll see you then later. All right?